set of days ahead. So how is everybody doing tonight? Good evening. evening, everyone. My name is Ravi Bateswal. I'm a reporter and news anchor with ABC Channel 7 here in Chicago. And I've been to this event a couple of times in the last 8 years that I've been in the city now. And I am just thrilled to join you for this 25th anniversary gala for Apna Ghar, our home. Welcome. Thank you for being part of this. This room is incredible. I know that all of us have had some great events in this room, whether it was completely packed or a little cozier like this. The fact of the matter is history happens in this room time and time again, and you're making history tonight by being here and celebrating with us. Your support of this incredible organization, which was formed 25 years ago now, in 1990. Yes, 1990 was 25 years ago. It's incredible, so thank you. A quarter century of Apna Ghar. You have established yourselves as the leader in providing holistic services to immigrant survivors of gender violence, which is something that back in 1990 nobody even understood what that meant. Now we all know, and we talk about it, the taboo is off, and we're going to solve this problem, hopefully at its roots, sooner rather than later. And it's because of this organization, among others. This Apna Ghar is an agency that provides community education. It conducts advocacy to improve conditions for all survivors, and it wants to create a more just and equitable world. Those are very, very strong values indeed. So our guest of honor has arrived here, and you will hear from him in just a moment, but we all know the Nobel Peace Prize winner and the founder of the Grameen Bank, Professor Muhammad Yunus, is right here. This is a man who knows something about how to change the world a little bit at a time. His innovations in microfinance and women's empowerment, highly regarded the world over, and we're thrilled to have this opportunity to sit and learn from him, hear about what he's done and how he has been able to effect change. Now, following the professor's speech, we're going to have an awards presentation for those of you who have directed your time and energy for Apna Ghar through the years. And later this evening, you're going to have an opportunity to contribute to the growth by funding. I told you about leaving here with less money than you came. You're going to have an opportunity to contribute by funding its new purpose-built safe home, which is going to double as the agency's current capacity to house the most vulnerable women and children really is stressed to the max. So that's great that we're able to expand. It's sort of sad that we have to expand, but this is the world that we live in. Also, this evening we're going to have an opportunity to hear the musical innovations from Chicago's own modern guitar virtuoso, Fareed Haq, and his band Math Games. So you're going to hear from Fareed. So we will start this evening off, like any good newscast, with really good video. Okay, we're going to hear about Apna Ghar's journey over the last 25 years. Can we cue the video?
You would be okay.
Divorce was a taboo where I came from. The Indo-Pak community was very different then. I was naive about the issue of violence against women. It made me think, how can I help or make a difference? So in 1983, supported by only 3 volunteers and $500 in hand, I started the Indo Crisis Line. During my 7 years of involvement with the hotline, we were faced with many cases of domestic violence where we felt frustrated and helpless due to limited or no resources available for the South Asian community. As a result, by 1990, Apna Ghar was founded.
We came to Apna Ghar for help, my mother, my sister, and I, back in 1992. My mother was married to my father for about 15 years, and she had been abused pretty much from day 2 of that marriage. She came to the realization that she needed to find a way to get away and stop the cycle. She sought help from various organizations. It wasn't easy to find, but we were fortunate enough to find Apna Ghar.
We have several programs advocacy program that's grown in depth based on the needs of our clients. We have counseling, which we do at an individual and group level. We provide art therapy. We have case management services. We're doing a lot of community education and outreach. We're also doing policy level advocacy based on the needs that our clients present with.
The supervised visitation services that Apna Ghar offers really is something that the courthouse needs in order to be able to allow fathers to have some access, but being very mindful of the safety needs and the well-being of both the victim of domestic violence and her children. Building that service at the court is an inherent part of really bringing safety, which is what the orders of protection are intended to do. They contribute greatly to the development of those services as a best practice model, which is being replicated all over the country.
I'm 35 now. When I came to Apna Ghar, I was 12. Obviously, I've grown a lot. My mom made a very bold step in seeking out help. The toughest part was that there was no support. No matter what churches we went to or groups we were a part of, we were immediately shunned. You know, kids that were my age were told not to play with me, and women were told not to talk to my mom because she could influence them in doing the same. And I think it was really eye-opening in terms of what we felt was community and what really is community. There was a larger group immediately that just said, okay, you're not a part of us, and having Apna Ghar kind of provide that open arm approach and just giving assistance was just a breath of fresh air.
I would say that I'm probably one of Apna Ghar's biggest fans. It's a struggle to keep domestic violence programs funded and operating. They are taking the best practice models, applying them, and trying to really be conscientious about how their agency grows. It's thoughtful in its board work and in its planning, and that is really unique among many domestic violence agencies.
We'll be building a new safe home, which will double the capacity of our current home. So we're really excited about that. That is a really significant achievement for the organization because we are one of the first organizations to actually have such a facility, to have a safe home for immigrant survivors. We do have people who come to us not only from the Chicago area, but also people who come to us from other parts of the country. We also hope to increase our presence in the suburban areas.
I got over the anger, but once I had my daughter, I had a moment of sadness just in terms of how could so many men miss out on this relationship with their children and their families. Had my dad figured it out, we wouldn't be in this situation. His dad figured it out, he wouldn't have been in the same situation.
Congratulations, Apna Ghar, for 25 years of amazing work.
A heartfelt congratulations to Apna Ghar.
Thanks to all the dedicated service, all the volunteers, the staff, and its board members, we have really increased our services and helped provide a tremendous amount of women with support that they never had before. It is a large milestone for us, and we hope to have many more of its kind. Thank you.
I'd like to congratulate Apna Ghar in celebrating its 25th anniversary. You've done so much to help many people, and I know you'll have many more opportunities to do the same. That's the one place you always thought you would be okay.
So that is what we are supporting tonight, and the need is only just growing. So thank you again for spending your evening with us, and to learn a little bit about why this is all important. Now, I'd like to invite up to the stage to introduce our guest of honor. Please welcome, for that introduction, Saeed Rabbani, who is Apna Ghar's board president, and he will have that honor. Saeed.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for coming here today. It means a lot to us. We are celebrating the 25th year of Apna Ghar. My name is Saeed Rabbani. I'm the board president, and together with a group of dedicated volunteers, we try to achieve what Ravi was talking about in the beginning and saw some of the video. Our guest of honor and the keynote speaker this evening is Nobel laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus, founder of Grameen Bank. We are honored by his presence, and we want to thank Professor Yunus for gracing this occasion. We are greatly grateful to him. Welcome, Professor Yunus. We've been trying to get him for quite some time to come here and talk to us, and as a matter of fact, about 3 years ago, in this hotel, in one of the occasions, I walked up to him and said, "Would you please come?" And without a moment's hesitation, he said, "Yes, I will." And he did today. And Darshwasa, thank you so very much. We're really grateful to you for facilitating this thing for us. For 25 years, Apna Ghar has saved and served survivors of gender violence. It was one of the first agencies in the U.S. to address the cultural and linguistic barriers that prevent immigrant victims of gender violence from reaching out for help. It is because of all of you, supporters, donors, volunteers, staff, and various grants we receive, that we help survivors every day with services they need to achieve long-term self-sufficiency. I want to acknowledge the 5 ladies who started this organization 25 years ago: Kanta Kibo, Prem Sharma, Ranjana Bhargava, Lynn Maglaya, and Len Francis Khan. And Prem is the one you saw talking on the video. Thank you so much. Our alderman, Mr. James Kappelman, is here. Thank you for coming. He will talk to us later today, and we appreciate his coming. The mayor of Oakwood is here. Thank you for coming. Your contribution today and throughout the year enable Apna Ghar to provide services that will help survivors not only heal but also thrive and rebuild their dreams. I want to personally thank you all for believing in Apna Ghar and for the jobs that do and for joining us in this milestone event. Now, Professor, it is an honor and distinct privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Nobel laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus, who actually don't need any introduction. I could be standing here for hours and talk about him. Take a look at the program book, there's some more information about him. He's a worldwide known personality and has been recognized by so many institutions. He's a very well-traveled man. We travel what we take in our suitcase. He comes home with a suitcase full of awards. Everybody is eager to give him an award. Everybody competes to give him an award. And we are so proud that he's here today. Professor Yunus empowers individuals to achieve self-sufficiency, which is also a goal of Apna Ghar. That's what we try to do for our victims. His organization is spread all over the world, from China to USA, Europe, South American countries. In the process, they have empowered millions of people, mostly women. He has inspired all of us, and we all have learned from him. We wish him continued tremendous success, him and his organization. And I want to thank him especially. Today is Eid Day, Eid Mubarak to all of you. In spite of his family did not want him to come, he still came and made history. Please join me with your applause to welcome Professor Muhammad Yunus. Thank you very much.
I'll get another basket full of awards. They're waiting for me. Well, thank you for inviting me. And when I met last time, 3 years back, he invited me, but that was not the 25th anniversary. So I have to wait to make sure it's a big gathering of 25th year celebration. Let's give a big applause for Apna Ghar for coming all the way. Congratulations, Warren. It's not easy for a community organization to come all the way for 25 years and kind of lay out the track record of doing things that they wanted to accomplish. And Apna Ghar and the people who are behind it very legitimately can feel proud of what you have done. And today is Eid Day, celebrating your 25th anniversary, so it's a double celebration. It's a great celebration. And I'm lucky. I waited for a right cause to hit the right moment to be here on the 25th anniversary. And I feel good. Feel good because I see what inspired all of you to do things, and now you can look back. It's a quarter of a century of service. A lot of things to happen from now on. The basic foundation of the organization has been done. And what you have been doing here, in my own way, I was trying to do little things back in Bangladesh. Not any big ambitious program or anything, but something which led me to pursue, because I got very excited. People saying it cannot be done, repeatedly saying it's impossible. Somehow, I felt that it's possible. And every day I saw the sign of being possible. And that was giving tiny loans to extremely poor people in the village, who were usually victims of loan sharks. What the journey began was just to defy the normal reaction of looking at it, writing stories about it, doing research about it. I thought I should try my solution. And it was something spur of the moment solution, not well thought out solution. Idea was, why don't I lend the money myself rather than leave the people to the loan sharks? And anybody will say, well, how many people can you help? I said, one is good enough for me. If I can do for one, I've done something. So I was not hesitating doing it for one. And literally started lending money out of my own pocket. And I had no idea that I'll take the second step or third step. But again, excitement generated, pushed me to do the second step, the third step, not knowing what would be the fourth step. Is there a fourth step? I didn't know. But the momentum was generated, so I continued. And I had no idea someday it will become a bank, because that's not what I was doing. Simply reacting to the situation. So it was the circumstances which pushed me. And I was someone who had no plan, no program, no idea. Situation was so desperate. You cannot just keep standing there and watching. So I took the jump, and that pushed me. It became a bank. Started in 1976. In 1983, we became a bank. Suddenly, we felt that we can do a lot more than we did before. Who are we that we're doing? I keep saying we did it. It's myself and several of my students, that's all. There was no kind of broader group of people doing that. My students followed me, whatever I did. And they continued to stay with me, continued to be involved in the bank that I created. Later on, the top brass of bank became those former students who came out of the university with me. And then, as lending began, other issues came forward. Together with the lending, which is sometimes is missed, people don't remember or don't notice, we also make sure everybody's saved. So as we give loans, before you even come to taking a loan, because there's a long waiting period for that, but you have to keep on saving, whatever money you can. The minimum saving they decided, the women together, because they couldn't afford anything bigger than that. There's four charana, that's 25 paisa at that time, back in 1976. So that's the amount that you put 25 paisa every week in your account. And people laughed at it. What is the use of making people put 25 paisa in their savings account? And I thought it's important to build a habit. So it's not the loan alone. I also have my own money, even if it's 25 paisa. And I had no idea whether it will grow big, whether it will stay there, people will withdraw the money. Almost 39 years later, today, last year we lent out $1.5 billion worth of money in Grameen Bank. Those 25 paisas, all those things, when you repeat it every week, with 8.5 million borrowers, it becomes a big money. But I had no idea how big that would be. Last year it was an amazing thing to see. They have more than $1.5 billion in their savings account. So the power of that money, little money doing every week, it kind of boggles your mind. See, it now changed the relationship between the bank and the borrower. Because we lend money to them, $20, $30, $50, that's how it all began. So they are genuine borrowers. Last year, we crossed the line. Because bank gave them $1.5 billion in loan. They put much larger, nearly $2 billion in the bank. So I keep reminding the bank, maybe we should not refer to them as borrowers anymore. Because they are the lenders. They lend more money to the bank. The bank gives it to them. Amazing transformation. They are mostly, almost all of them, are illiterate women, cannot read, cannot write. But their calculations are very clear. They know exactly what money they are going to make, how they are going to pay back and all that. But we want to make sure all the children of the families go to school. Nobody missed. So this became a part of the bank's job to make sure every child in the Grameen families are in school. It's a tough job, but they accomplished it. Make sure 100% of the children in school. So you have a new second generation in illiterate families. For the first time in their family, not only they are literate, they are educated. Grameen Bank gives them loan, education loan, to make sure they can go to higher education. So when I travel, as Rabbani was mentioning, I get strange experiences. I speak in university, talk about Grameen Bank, what they have done, and talk about their children. And someone from the audience will say, I'm from Grameen Bank family. I'm doing my PhD in this university. It's a long journey. These are dirt poor women who started their journey with tiny loans like $5, $10 loan. But the children are doing PhD in the universities abroad. I mentor faculty members in the universities in different countries. So you wonder, what is poverty really? And this bugged me long time. What is poverty? And I come to the conclusion again and again. Poverty is not created by the poor people. It is imposed on them. Imposed by the system that we have created. There is nothing wrong with the poor people. They are as good human beings as anybody else. I see, when I go to the villages, meet people after many years now. I see the woman who joined the Grameen Bank 20 years back, 25 years back. She has excitement to tell me what she has done all these years. I see a young girl with her, 20, 22, 25 years old, look exactly like her mother. One is younger and one is older. That's about a change, difference. And I assume that she helps the mother to do her thing in her business. I ask her, what do you do? She says, I'm a medical doctor. I practice in the nearby city. Now that I heard that you are visiting our village, I didn't want to miss the chance to see you. So I came home. So I looked at the mother and the daughter. Smiled the same way, looked the same way. One is totally illiterate. The other one is a medical doctor. And always it hits me situations like this. Her mother could have been a doctor too. There's nothing wrong with her mother. But she never had a chance to go to school, learn the alphabets, write her own name, to identify herself, I'm such and such. The question is, was it her fault? Is she less intelligent than her daughter? No, she's not. So that's what the poverty is all about. Given a chance, she could have been a medical doctor or be an engineer or could be anybody. But she was denied all those opportunities. Only thing that happened to her, she had become a member of Grameen Bank, took loans, sent her child to school, and gave education loan. She went to medical school, she became a doctor. that didn't exist for the mother. Why didn't it exist? Because our system didn't think it is needed. Today, it doesn't exist for billions of people. So I gave the example of a bonsai tree. I said, you take the best seed out of the forest tree, tall tree, and put it in a flower pot. It grows only this high. It looks cute, exactly like the one that we saw in the forest. And we call it bonsai. And you wonder what is wrong with this tree? Why didn't it grow as tall as the one we saw in the forest? Is something wrong with the seed? No, we chose the best seed. Then why didn't it grow? It didn't grow because we didn't give enough soil to grow. We gave them the flower pot. It couldn't sustain the growth of the tree. So it remains stunted. So I tried to explain by saying poor people are bonsai people. There's nothing wrong with their seed. Simply society never gave the soil to grow as tall as anybody else. So fault is not in the person. Fault in the environment that exists around her, around him. So that's what the struggle is, how to change that. If you change that, nobody will be a poor person. Take the case of bank. We're all talking about Grameen Bank today. It's a bank for the poor. Everybody says a bank for the poor. Then there are many other banks, big banks. Chicago is filled with banks. I said, if you call Grameen Bank as a bank for the poor, should you call other banks as banks? It would be most inappropriate to do that. The appropriate thing would be to call them banks for the rich. But we don't say that. But the moment you talk about Grameen Bank, you quickly say it's a bank for the poor. That's very asymmetric. That's the trick we play with our minds. We think bank is for everybody, which is not. The legitimate description of the bank would be the bank for the rich. If you had identified them as bank for the rich, question will arise, where are the bank for the poor? They don't exist. Just an example. So this is the kind of progression of the wrong thinking that goes. Technology always kind of excited me. I kept saying that the way technology is moving, many things will become possible which were not possible before. One opportunity came in Bangladesh back in 1996. Government was opening up the telecom sector. You know, remember the telephone used to be the government thing, government agency giving you a telephone. Same was in Bangladesh. For the whole country in 1996, there were less than 500,000 telephones. And out of this 500,000 telephones, almost half of them didn't work. You keep on saying hello, 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 it doesn't work. To get the connection before 1996, average waiting time was 3 years. Many of you remember those stories in your lifetime. As you grew up, you never saw telephone in your life, but you saw it much later. So since government was freeing up the telecom sector, they were giving licenses. We applied from Grameen Bank. We want to create a Grameen with telephone company. The government officials laughed at us. You are a bank for the poor people. Why do you want a telephone license for a telephone company? I said, we thought we can bring telephone in the country and bring telephone to the poor women. They laughed. Because that was a time when if you had a cell phone, a mobile phone, you must be super rich. Otherwise you cannot afford it. So that's why we are applying for a license to create a telephone company to bring telephone in the hands of the poor women. An official asked me, who is she going to call? I said, well, maybe she'll not call anybody, but I thought other people would be interested to call and make use of her telephone and pay her. Said, you said they are illiterate people. I said, yes, they are illiterate. If they are illiterate, they can't even dial the number because they cannot recognize the number. So I thought this is just to accumulate me, my application and all that. I said, okay, that's true. But if dialing those numbers bring money, things will change very quickly. I said, there are only 10 numbers in the whole world. You cannot invent 11th number yet. If dialing these numbers bring money, they will learn it in 10 minutes. They laughed, they thought this is crazy. Ultimately, after a lot of struggle, we got the license in end of 1996 and launched a company called Celebration-1. And right from the beginning, we rolled out to make sure we bring the telephone in the village, not in the city. And then give the telephone in the hands of the poor women in the village. Give her a loan, bank loan, so that she can buy herself a handset and started using that to sell the service of the phone. That was the purpose. The idea was there's so much demand will be created. Everybody will come to her to make a phone call, and she'll make a lot of money by doing that. She'll buy kind of a public telephone. We started calling them telephone lady. In a few years, in 3-4 years, we had nearly 500,000 telephone ladies in the whole country with the roaring business. So that was the launching of Celebration-1. Today, we have 6 operators in the country. Celebration-1 is almost half the market share. It's the largest telephone company in the country. And it's the largest company in the country, not just a telephone company, it's the largest company in the country. It's the largest taxpayer in the country. And Bangladesh has over 125 million telephone subscribers in a country of 160 million people. It transformed everyone. When we gave a phone, right from the start, we gave them a card with telephone numbers. It starts with the telephone number of the Prime Minister. Her home number, her office number, her secretary's number, everybody's number. We tell them, if you get mad, just dial the number. You cannot enter the office of the Prime Minister or the residence of the Prime Minister, but your telephone can. It will ring. Somebody has to pick it up and tell them like the way you feel. So we gave them the number of the parliament member. We gave them the telephone number of the Women Affairs Minister, because she is the one responsible for the women. So go and shout at her, whoever she is or he is. opens up. Suddenly you see your voice can cut across everything. These are the women where voice is not supposed to be heard. You speak only within the four walls of your house or room, because nobody should hear your voice. We say, scream as hard as you can on the phone. The whole world will hear you. Don't hesitate. So today these telephone ladies and those, everybody, since everybody has a phone now, they know more about telephone than we know. Because for them it's very important to know everything that is there. In the beginning, they were making fun of this electric woman. After a while, you go and talk to them, they know exactly what is the time of the day in the country where the telephone call is originating from. Because many of our people work in Middle East. From the villages, they go and work in the Middle East. They want to call home. They couldn't call home before, there was no telephone. So now they call home. Calling home means calling a telephone lady. So telephone lady picks up the phone and said, the other guy says, I want to talk to my mother. She knows who this guy is because he's from the same family, same village. So she will take the telephone to the parents or mother or whatever. And she will charge extra for home delivery. Because I'm delivering the phone call to your home. In the process, she knows everything that is going on in the village because everybody has to talk on the phone. They know what kind of family trouble they're having. This is the Eid al-Adha. I heard an interesting story in one of those occasions. There was a screaming going on both sides. She was explaining, the telephone lady explaining. Because he didn't send the money to buy the cattle, to buy the cow for the slaughter. So that the shouting match between the husband and the wife. Husband is in Dubai, wife is in the back. Why didn't they send the money in time so that they can buy the cow? So you know what's going on, the problems and the excitements and the weddings. It became a big vehicle for arranging weddings, the telephone. As I said, I'm very excited about the technology. So we are trying to see our maternal death is still not as low as it should be. We are trying to achieve the Millennium Development Goal. We have done pretty well on other 7 of the Millennium Development Goal. Maternal death is still not at par with the Millennium Development Goal. So we are trying very hard to make sure maternal death can be brought down. We saw the ultrasound, the traditional ultrasound is a very complicated thing. So I was arguing with all the device producers, I said, why can't you just put it in a little tablet-sized thing so that we can carry it around, our girls can carry it around, do the ultrasound as they go around. He said, well, it can be done, but it will be expensive. I said, expense we'll consider later, but can you do that? Can you bring the technology so that it become portable, mobile, you can plug it in and do that, battery operated and so on. Finally, General Electric did that for us, small tablet. So we started using that. We trained our young high school graduates, high school dropouts to be trained in ultrasound. And repeatedly, General Electric told us the performance of these school dropouts is much better than the trained doctors who use the ultrasound because this is the only thing that she does. She knows everything about it. So we're very happy that we can now go around in the village with a little gadget in her hand and befriend the mother, pregnant woman, so that she can take the image and pass on the image electronically to the doctor, wherever the doctor is. Doctor doesn't have to be anywhere near the village. And doctor can pick up the phone and talk to the mother. Your baby looks okay, fine, do this. or I have to do it again next month. I'll check what's going on. So that opens up a whole new horizon for us to go to the mother and find out the risky pregnancies. In Bangladesh, it's about 11% of the pregnancies are risky pregnancies. In order to identify those risky pregnancies is a tough job. If you can identify them, then we can concentrate on the attention on them. Otherwise, attention is kind of disintegrated into so many different directions. Then I pose the next question to General Electric and everybody else. Why don't you make it in the mobile phone? Why don't you make the mobile phone, make it an app? You plug in the probe and take the images and send it to the mobile phone wherever you want to do that. Oh, it's complicated. I say everything is complicated to begin with, but after you do that, it becomes so. So this is one attempt we're making, so that things like this become as an app in a mobile phone, cell phones. Doing ECG is possible now with mobile phone. Eye scanning with mobile phone is possible. And many such slew of things now coming up. I said mobile phone ultimately it can become the Aladdin's lamp. You touch it, and the digital genie comes out of it. You say, what can I do for you? And you say it, and your wish is always my command. And it gets done. If we can concentrate on that issue, how to bring all the diagnostics through the mobile phone, it will happen. It will happen because all impossibles are going to be possible very soon. But depends which impossible you're chasing. The one you chase the most become the possible the fastest. That's what we need to change things in our mind. What is it our priority? Healthcare services is not available to the poor people. But with technology, I'm absolutely sure every single human being on this planet can be provided first-rate health service, costlessly. Because it doesn't cost you anything when you put it in a mobile phone. So that's the direction we have to move. And it's all about how you address the technology part. And again, who drives technology? You look back and the answer will be quick, very simple. Business drives technology. Money makers drive technology. Because business means you want to make money. So you are developing technology which will help you make money. What about the technology which solves problem? There's a distance. You don't want to develop technology which doesn't bring you money. Because why should you? So you don't, when I say it will be costless, meaning business will not be interested in it. If it is costless, why should I bother about it? So it's the money makers who drive technology. It's the war makers who drive technology. These are the two drivers of technology. That's why we're bringing the social business. A business which is not concerned with making money for themselves individually. Is a business which is dedicated to solving problems. Once you we bring that dimension of human being that want to solve problems. It's driven by that mission. And suddenly new technology will emerge. We have a joint venture, social business, with Intel Corporation. So we've been asking repeatedly what kind of technology they should produce for us in this joint venture in Bangladesh. We have done several. the most interesting thing which is coming up would be a bracelet for pregnant women again, because our mind is still on saving our life. It does two things at the moment. It's a very elementary level that they're doing now in the field. One is the air quality in the room where she lives, because the air quality is extremely bad. Fumes coming from the cooking and all this. And I'm sure you're familiar that one of the major cause of death among the women is the air quality in the room. Because she's always cooking, always in the fume, always inhaling it. And it affects her life, and it affects her baby child's life. So this bracelet has sensors to assess the air quality. And if it goes below a certain level, that you should not be inside of the room, it will give the warning bells, start ringing. Bells will ring. And the voice message will come, get out of the room. Open all the doors and the windows so that your air can go inside the room and clean it up. But until it's done, don't go back. So this is one. And also it gives voice message. This is the 5th week of your pregnancy. And during this week, you'll feel this kind of symptoms. Don't be worried. It's normal. If you have this kind of symptoms in you, push this button and we'll get in touch with you. Every week, it will give a new message for the pregnant mother, so that she becomes aware what she could expect, what are the danger points along the way, and where to find help button, and so on. Very simple device, but a lifesaver. So this is one direction. It could have been much more elaborate. In future, it will be much elaborate. You can also collect the body signals from the pregnant woman and transmit them with all those possibilities of communications. So again, you direct technology to solve problems. Then you see a different kind of life ahead of you rather than what you do. This is a question of thinking, how you think about life, how you do that. I was mentioning today that we try to kind of put this as in our dashboard. This is what we want to achieve. Everything that we want to do should follow that mission that we built for ourselves. And that on the dashboard we have 3 zeros. 1, 0 poverty. So nobody in the world should be a poor person. So whatever I do, I want to make sure that we are achieving that, we are in the progress of that. And we assess that, what we are today, what will be tomorrow, and what will be the after. Are we step by step reaching in that direction? Luckily in Bangladesh, we are proceeding in that direction. We keep tab of it. Millennium Development Goal, assigned number 1 goal is reducing poverty by half by 2015, December. This is 2015, but December is several months away. Bangladesh is a very lucky country. It achieved goal number 1, reducing poverty by half, by the middle of 2013, so 2.5 years before. So that gives a lot of confidence. Yes, it can be done. You see, in the first 10 years, it is average of 1% per year in poverty reduction. Next 5 years is 2% per year, poverty reduction. And then on 2.5% per year. So the number of percentage of reduction in poverty is also increasing. so that you do it faster and faster. Encouraged by that, we ourselves volunteered to set the goal for Bangladesh to bring poverty to zero by 2030. And today, I think, in the United Nations, they will adopt the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal, where they will put achieving zero poverty by 2030, zero extreme poverty, which is halfway. In Bangladesh, we are saying not extreme poverty, we will overcome all the poverty by 2030 and bring it to zero. Then put an ad in the newspaper after 2030. If you can find one poor person in Bangladesh, $1 million award. And you're saying that nobody can claim that award because there won't be any. Then we'll build the poverty museum. Because it's not here. Sounds like fairy tale, but it's very real. Because it's happening. That's the point I was making in the beginning. There's nothing wrong in the poor people. All you have to do is just open the door so that they can come out. You have put them in a prison. If you open up, not only they will not be poor anymore, they will be contributing because they will be productive, creative human beings. That's what they are. By denying them to be productive and creative as like everybody else, you are depriving yourself. You are depriving the society and the community and everybody else. So that's zero number one. Zero number two, zero unemployment. Again, this is similar thing as poverty. It's not natural to human being. Unemployment is an artificial thing imposed on human being. Human beings are creative beings. Human beings are go-getters. Human beings are problem solvers. We denied that role from the human being. We told them, no, you work for somebody. When you work for somebody, you are no longer yourself anymore. You are bought by somebody else to do their job, not your job. Natural thing for a human being is to do their call, whatever your life demands for them. So in Bangladesh, for the second generation of Grameen Bank borrowers, we are telling them to repeat to themselves that we are not job seekers, we are job creators, so that nobody feels the urge to apply for a job. I said, if I had the chance, I'll have a university where as the students join in, they'll be signing up that I would rather die than ask for a job from anybody. I'll make sure I take care of myself and take care of others in front of me. That's my mission. And once they put it in their head, that's the way they will do it. Not sit idle, I don't have a job, I have nothing to do. As if that was the end of the world. Why should anybody sit around not doing anything if they have all the creative power themselves? Why don't they go out and do things? And that's the environment we are trying to create, asking every young person in the second generation to come up with business ideas rather than job applications. And we create funds, social business fund, to invest and become the partner with every young person. So we provide the funds as equity and tell them that make your business successful, we'll be with you. Once you are successful in your business, gradually return the money we gave you, and you are in orbit. We launched you on orbit, so you are on your own. Young girls from villages come with business ideas. My mother had a sewing machine. She used to work with this machine. Then she moved into other things with the Grameen Bank loan. I picked up her old machine. I started sewing my clothes with that. And I started producing things to sell a few of those pieces. So now I have a little business with this old machine in my home. Her business plan is give me money, I'll rent a place in the market, set up a shop. I'll be producing designer clothes. Give me money to rent the shop and all the pieces that needed to be decorated with, and for a new machine, so that I can produce more efficiently and so on. And this is the cost, and I'll pay you back all the money that you invest in me in one year time. I can guarantee. And you examine that, she means her record says she can do that. Put the money. And she's excited. For the first time, she is now feeling like a businesswoman. She set up her shop in the marketplace. And from day one, she hires another person. Right away. And now at the second round coming, she pays back the first round money. Now she wants to have 2 more machines, expand her business, hire 2 more girls. That's it. But the way she stands there in front of everybody in Dhaka City, she came probably the first time in the Dhaka City, explaining her business. She can beat any business school graduate how to pitch her business. They interrogate her in a very tough way, but she answers every single thing. This is about her life. It's not something she read in a book. She answers every single question. So this is the kind of quality that you bring out in people, that give a chance, they respond to that. So now, zero number 3, zero net carbon emission. This is again a big issue for the world to survive. We have carbonized the economy. Unless we can decarbonize it, we have no future. So all these things that we're talking about can be put together in those 3 zeros and pursue. If you pursue, it will happen. So I said, we need to imagine the world ahead of us, what kind of world we want. If we imagine, it will happen. If we don't imagine, it will never happen. Imagination plays a very important role, and believing in our imagination, that we want to be there. If we make up our mind, we'll be there. Thank you very much.
I think the professor will take a few questions, and then we'll have a little bit of photos, and then we have a gift for him, so I'm going to ask you to stay up here as well. So does anyone have any questions for the professor very quickly?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You loan the money to these people. Do all of them return your money back?
They do.
Some people disappear out of this country.
They do. Yeah, that's the beauty of the whole system. And repayment rate has remained over the last 40 years, near 100%. We launched this program in the United States, the same Grameen program. We have now 18 branches all over the United States, 8 branches in New York City, 2 in Los Angeles, 2 in San Francisco, and 1 each in Charlotte, North Carolina, Omaha, Nebraska, Houston, and Boston. We have over 65,000 borrowers in the United States. Average loan is $1,500. No collateral, no guarantee, nothing, just like in Bangladesh. The repayment rate over the last 6 years that we are operating these branches, 99.6%. Some ranches are 100%. So this is the amazing part of people. And this is the same group, same area where you have violence, you have drugs, you have fights, but this goes very smooth. Yeah.
Anybody else have a question or comment? Yes, go ahead.
Microphone. We ourselves are directly involved in many countries. We've done programs of social business in Brazil, in Colombia, in Haiti, in Albania, in Mexico, in Tunisia, Uganda, and many other places. So there's amazing things people do. Young people come up with great ideas and so on. Like, for example, one common problem everywhere is across all over the world. Agriculture problem. Most of the agriculture produce, they draw a lot of money from the consumers, but the producers don't see that money. Producers get very tiny thing. Take coffee, for example. You'll be having coffee today. You buy coffee, $4, $5 a cup, enjoy it. But the coffee that went into that cup, the coffee grower didn't get a fraction of a cent out of it. So everything went not to the producer, but to the people who have done the rest of it. So we create social business as a kind of a connecting company or a marketing company, trying to get the produce and sell it in the final market and bring the money to the producer. Because in social business, you don't want to make money. You want to bring the money to the real producer. So this is one attempt in many countries. Cotton growers don't get the money. Cotton consumers pay a lot. Cocoa producers don't see the money. You pay a lot for the chocolate. It's a common history everywhere. So this is what we're trying to address. It's not going to resolve, but the young people are coming up with beautiful ideas how to make that happen. And you don't have to do it overnight, everything. You start with one. Now, many companies who are operating at the final level, they are cooperating with us. Saying, yes, we know, but we don't know how to do it. There are so many middlemen between us. So if you can eliminate the middleman, you can do it directly. It can be done. Like, to give one example where we created a company, social business. There's a nut produced in Ghana, in the neighboring areas. It's produced wildly in the forest. Women go into the village, poor women go into the forest, and collect those nuts. It's called shea nut. And they are sold in the local market for literally for nothing. They get little money out of them. Then it keeps changing hands until it comes to France in the hands of L'Oreal. And it becomes shea butter. You pay a lot of money for that. Everybody loves it. But the producers, those women, didn't get anything. So we created a company in between, negotiated with L'Oreal, so that they buy directly from us. And they are very happy. If our money goes to those poor women, it will be the first priority for us. So this is what it's a small thing, but makes a lot of stories out of it. So this is it. So when we say social business, these are the kind of problems that we want to settle. How to do that? It can be done. Young people love it. They see they can really solve problems, not just talk about it or write beautiful articles about it. This is really get engaged and get it done. Bring their technology, bring their ideas, and make it happen.
Is there a plan in the Grameen system to make it a vertically integrated company? go up to the consumer level? For example, can it go to the producers and go up to the consumer just like, say, make it another Starbucks type of company?
I just gave the example of coffee. Now bring it back. We're saying we're creating the marketing company between the coffee growers and the coffee sellers to the consumers. So that whatever the consumer is paying, a significant part of the money to come to the producer. So that you eliminate all the people who are just handling, didn't do anything, just shifted hands from one to another. So it could be done for coffee, and I was giving an example of the shea butter, shea nut to shea butter. So you create that company to do that. And it could be done for many other products, even common products like wheat, corn, or the producers always in the negative side. Because when your harvest comes, prices are dumped. So you are forced to sell because you have to pay off lots of people that you borrowed money from. So if there's somebody in between who can retain that capacity so that you sell only when the price is high, then you bring the money back to the producer. In the meantime, help them to protect themselves. They are not get beaten by the lenders and so on and so forth. So this is the kind of thing. It's not integrated. It's a case by case how you do that. Coffee is coffee. You don't mix coffee with rice trading or something. Each one has a different cycle, different route, how they do that, what kind of processing that goes into it. So you try to do that in that way. If you think the other way is better, you can differently think about that. Yeah. So far, we used it by number of them. The one other, just to give you the marketing idea. This was a case in Albania. Albania is a beautiful country. The women in the villages, in the mountains, they produce beautiful jam, jelly, all kinds of mountain products, forest products, honey. Take this honey and all the jam and jelly and sell it in the local market. They take the throwaway water bottle to put honey into it. They don't have any container. They pick up those throwaway bottles and put honey and sell it. And they take their cosmetic containers, empty cosmetic containers, to put jam and jelly and so on. Because they don't have any container. So one young person came out, created a company to have standardized those containers and bottles for the honey and all the things that they do. And have a leveling so that they have a common level for everybody. And she provides all those levels and the containers and the training for the hygienic way of doing things. And collect them and sell it in the market. The hotel chain and the grocery chain and so on. Those things in the throwaway water bottle never came to the hotel chain. They will not let it come in because it looks ugly. So now suddenly it becomes a valuable product. It's a very simple idea. It doesn't cost a leg and an arm for that. But he created a small company to provide that. It doesn't need anybody to become a real, brilliant businessman. Nothing. It's just a simple problem. You see it in front of you, you did that. And suddenly, this product becomes available. And you bring the money to them. Because you are a social business, you don't want to make money for yourself. All you want to do, you cover your costs and bring the money for them. This is another idea of that marketing company. Thank you.
Professor, thank you very much. I'm going to keep you up here for a moment because there's the obligatory awards that you need to take home and display proudly. But I don't know about you, but all of us deal with this modern economy all the time, which is always about me, and it's always about trying to satisfy demands that a demand that will never actually ever be satisfied. To hear what you're talking about tonight and the philosophical basis for all of it, I think is just, it's revolutionary. I don't know if you've spoken to Bernie Sanders, but he's trying to launch a political revolution in this country, and I'm sure he would love to talk to you. But Professor Muhammad Yunus, everybody, let's have a big round of applause. While we're doing that, and Neha, Nasim, and whoever else is coming some point. It's probably a small business idea. All right.
So many friends, supporters, and well-wishers have helped us along the way to get to the point where we are today. They all deserve an award. However, we can only give so many at one time. In one place, I have requested Professor Yusuf to give the awards on our behalf. So the first awardee is Ramzan and Parvin Family Foundation. We had reached out to them and asked them to join our board. Ramzan agreed to do so. Not only financial support, they have helped us in so many different ways to grow our organization. Please join me in welcoming Parveen, Ramzan, and Khurram Banji from the foundation. Would you please come up to the stage and say
Can everybody come together? Because of that. Thank you. Please. Hello, sir. Yes, sir. One more. One more, and the last one, please. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you very much again, the Dhanji Foundation, Parveen, Khurram, and Ramzan. Ashima Mehta, please come on. Ashima has served the Apna Ghar board for more than 10 years, including as president of the board. Over the years, she has helped Apna Ghar in many different ways. She has retired from the board, but still keeps on helping. Apna Ghar is honored to present them with outstanding support award.
Please join. Madam, may I have the back, please? One more and the last one, please. Thank you.
Shakuntala Chowdhury. She has helped us tremendously over the years, but anonymously. Only few of us know about her, as she's Samir Chabria's mom, our vice president. I want to apologize in front of everybody and broke her place, but we wanted to honor her.
Thank you.
Surendranath. Surinder has served the Apna Ghar board for more than 10 years, including as president of the board. She has been a tremendous asset to Apna Ghar, and she has even served as an honorary executive director when we needed it badly. Now retired from Apna Ghar, and we're trying to bring her back. She still continues to help Apna Ghar. Apna Ghar is honored to present her with us. She even helped tremendously to organize this event. Daniel Nurani. Daniel has served the Apna Ghar board for more than 10 years also, including as president of the board. Over the years, we got so dependent on Daniel as we started asking him to just for everything, whenever we needed him. Apna Ghar, he's also the one who brought me to Apna Ghar. Apna Ghar is honored to present him with the exceptional service award.
Hello, sir. more on the last one, please. Thank you.
Now, Professor Yunus, we do not know how to thank you enough. It has been an honor and a pleasure, and please allow us to present you a couple of things to make your stand here.
One more, I need this picture, please. One more and the last one. Thank you. This is the other.
I have to say, I'm so thrilled to see so many men in here. Your voices are needed. Let's give applause to the men. I have to say that if you asked me about domestic violence 30 years ago, I would have told you a very different answer than what I know right now. And I have to talk about what I looked like 30 years ago. It wasn't just because my hair was brown back then, but 30 years ago I had this long brown robe and a hood with a rope with 3 knots on it, and I wore sandals and I had a black beard. I was a Franciscan monk. And 30 years ago I got a call from my sister. And my sister said, James, I have a big favor to ask of you, but I have one question first. Do you believe in divorce? And here I am, a Catholic Franciscan monk, and I said, what's going on? She said, James, you're going to have to call her mom, and you're going to have to tell her that it's okay to get a divorce. Which puzzled me. And she went on to explain that my mom had gone through 12 years of getting severely beaten up, and I never knew about it. Matter of fact, I have 7 brothers and sisters, and most of us never knew about it, except for 2, and they kept it a secret. You see, we all know that domestic violence calls for a great deal of shame. And she wanted me to call my mom because as a Catholic Franciscan monk, I needed to give my mom permission to divorce her husband. Now my mom was a very strong woman. My mom raised 8 kids by herself after my dad died. Growing up, we had a barn that was destroyed by a hurricane. I grew up in Texas, and she and a neighbor rebuilt our barn. My mom was a very tough woman, and yet she couldn't get a divorce because she thought it was wrong, and I had to give her my permission, and I called her and said, Mom, you now have my permission, you can get a divorce. See, I suddenly believed in divorce. But the other thing that my mom said was, I still can't get a divorce because I don't know how to put gasoline in my car tank, and I don't know how to check the air in my tires. And if you know anything about domestic violence, it goes on and on and on. Women are made to feel like they're completely powerless. My mom, a very strong woman, now didn't know how to put gasoline in her car tank. And that's what I like about Apna Ghar. Apna Ghar advocates for women when they're most vulnerable. And what's very special about Apna Ghar is they also have a special mission to women who have come to this country. Many of those women faced political turmoil in their old country. They faced a huge decision just to come over here, and then they had to also go through the trauma of resettlement. Going through 3 horrible, very difficult things, and then having to wrestle with domestic violence is sometimes just way too much. I live in the 46th ward in Uptown, And I had some neighbors give me a call and said there's a home that was a block from my house, and there were lots of police calls to this one home. And they asked me to deal with this issue. And so I called the police, and I wanted to know, to track how many 911 calls came to this one home, to this one apartment. In the span of 3 months, that's 90 days, there were 40 911 calls made to this one home, this one apartment, by one woman. And this one woman kept calling the police over and over and over and over and over and over again because her husband was beating her up. This woman had no place to turn to. And the police kept saying, "Why don't you just leave your husband?" What the police didn't know is that this woman became so incredibly dependent on her husband because that's the nature of domestic violence. It creates severe dependency. And this woman believed she could not live without the support of her husband. That's why Apna Ghar needs your help. Needs your help for that woman, and needs your help for so many other people who experience domestic violence. Because the truth of the matter is, all of you know someone who has experienced domestic violence. And some of those people have kept it a secret from you and you don't know about it. It might be your next door neighbor. It might be your pediatrician. It could be anybody, because domestic violence doesn't know income levels. Domestic violence affects all families, it affects all of us. And so I ask you, please, do whatever you can to support those individuals and their families and their children, to support their needs, to empower people to stand up and to become whole again. And that's what Apna Ghar does. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alderman Kappelman. What an amazing story to be able to tell in a room like this. You know, I wanted to turn to something that's been very important to all of us on the board. We've been focused on something for the last several months, actually more than a year. And I want to thank you all for coming. Obviously, we reach out as a board to you as much as we can, and we want to thank you for attending. And we know that 90% of life is just showing up. But now I want to talk about the other 10%. Because Apna Ghar's mission is to serve survivors of domestic violence. And until we solve and break this cycle, we want to be available. And to that end, we want to provide shelter. We want to provide a safe haven. Now, since 2008, the current shelter has been in a location and it has served our needs, but it is serving our needs. The capacity in our current shelter is 12 to 15 clients at any given time. And it breaks our heart that we have to turn away people that need our help. So we thought, okay, we need to build a different kind of shelter, something that's more purpose-built, because the current one is a single-family home. But we want to do it in a fiscally responsible way. We want to take care of Apna Ghar as an organization, but we want to provide a safe place for these women to turn to. So, we are building a new shelter. We've actually just received the permit in the city of Chicago, actually about within the last 30 days, and we are going to be breaking ground on a new shelter. And this is where you guys come in. Because in order to build that shelter, the cost is going to be about $650,000 to $700,000 to build it, to furnish it, and to move there. And we've got some great partners. We've got Designs for Dignity, who have donated interior decorating services and furnishings. The value of that is approximately $65,000 to $70,000 that we already have. Now, in order to fund this shelter,
We're going to do two things. I am announcing here today, right now, a capital campaign. Stage 1 of our capital campaign. We need to raise $175,000 so that we can break ground and we can start paying our contractors. The remainder of the cost we are going to get as an interest-free loan from the Donji Foundation, organization that was just honored earlier tonight. It's an amazing gesture. We have this opportunity. And guess what? Because the board has participated 100%, and because we have such wonderful donors that have already come to us before we even announced the capital campaign, we're actually already at $120,000 that we've raised for this capital campaign. Please give the staff and the board of directors a round of applause, because it's amazing that this first round we're looking for $175,000. So, like I said, with that, to that end, I would like to invite all of you to become part of this. I would like to invite all of you to become donors, to help us build this shelter. And we want to fund this need. And I'm going to ask Mr. Kurt Wasan to come up here. He's been a champion of Apna Ghar for a long time. And he's good at this sort of thing. I need help because to get everybody to listen and to hear what we got to say, I think Kurt is going to walk around and get your attention. So,
all right, everyone.
Kurt, what's on everybody?
We're going to make a quick promise. It's 9:30, 9:35, what time?
Yes, 9:35.
All right, so thank you. 9:35.
It's Friday.
Give us 15 minutes of your time, complete silence if you don't mind, focused. I know you want to talk to your aunties, your aunts, you want to swing, whatever it is you guys are into. Give us 15 minutes and you'll be out of here, promise you. But we're gonna have some fun here. I've been doing this for a long time, and I know that the goal was at 55,000? 55,000. That's easy. We've raised 250,000 in one night in the same room many years ago. We've done it multiple times. Sabrina Hans can tell you that. My mom, who's in part of the organization, can tell you that. Preem Sharma can tell you that. So here we are. There's a beautiful, wonderful new shelter being developed. So we're looking to raise. We have 5,000, I believe.
Yeah, our first level that I'd like to announce is the $5,000 level.
There you go.
Who out there would like to sponsor the shelter for $5,000? Kurt, I see somebody at this table.
Brand, you just happen to put Fantastic.
Thank you so much. And there's
She
the
made
volunteers
that.
walking
She
around.
made that for 5,000.
Please.
Right here.
Another one. Give a round of applause for these $5,000 donations.
Pleasure.
This is
right there.
Allowed.
Bam! That was 10,000.
Just like that, we've got two people that are
Mom, we were
donating $5,000.
Usha and Darsh Wasan. I get no part of this, by the way. It's probably my Christmas present. Huh? Oh, fantastic. So, Marvin Nair, who I've known since I was a baby, he just put $5,000 before he left the room. So, fantastic. Now you're here to accept it.
That's unbelievable, guys. Anybody else who'd love to be a partner in this endeavor for $5,000?
I'm going to go to some of the tables that I know, because this is the best part of the whole evening. Let's go over to the Thakkar Kamula table. All right. Now, $5,000 is a lot for you guys. You guys aren't ballers like the rest of the uncles in the audience. So let's see. How about when we combine the two? That's different.
And by the way, you can text Apna Ghar to 243-725 in order to donate now. If you'd like to do it on your cell phone, you don't want to shout it out in the middle of the room. We totally understand that. But you can text it.
So we are down from, let's just do this countdown so people can realize how close we are to the goal. 55 minus, what are we, 20? We already raised 20?
We had two $5,000 donations over here, one more.
Okay, so we're at what's that, 15? So 37, 38, whatever that is. I'm a marketing guy, I'm not a math major.
All right, now, I'd like to open up. So I think we're good with the $5,000 donations. Well, how about $2,500 donation?
I love it.
Who would like to make a $2,500 donation? Because if we can get this shelter built, it's not just a matter of building a nice place that looks great that we can show you pictures of. This is a place that is home. Apna Ghar's mission is to serve those in need, but Apna Ghar means our home. Very literally, this place serves as home when people can't use their own.
Lovely. All right, 2,500. This is like a weekend for some of you people at the bars out there. I know that. I'm gonna step over to the Hans table, Mr. Bollywood. I know that's a lot for you right now, but you used to be in serials in Bollywood, correct? TV shows?
Oh, I think, Kern, we have a hand raised over
We do?
here.
Where?
We got a $2,500 donation at table number 3.
Lovely.
Please, everybody give a round of applause.
What's your name? Rabia? Rabia, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic.
Anybody else?
Chipping away at this.
At the $2,500 level. And there's
$2,500
volunteers walking around if you'd like to donate by credit card, if you'd like to make a pledge and give a check. However you'd like to do it. We'll make it very easy, as easy as possible.
Table 20 is very quiet.
You don't want Kern at your table before you're ready, so maybe make the pledge now.
No, I don't want, I feel like an ominous presence here. I don't want to do that. I want to walk away from some of these tables. $2,500.
$2,500 level. Anybody can join us at the $2,500 level. No?
Yes. Yes.
We got $20,000, just like that.
Just like that.
Do you think we can get the rest? Do you think the rest of the money is in this room? Because if we could get 30 donations at $1,000 each, we'd be done.
Come on.
Who's
Oh!
got that $1,000 donation?
My wonderful brother, who's a pain doctor.
Right over here
by the
at
way,
table 12.
he's already volunteered that if you need a pain assessment, if you donate $1,000, my brother will give you a free pain assessment.
That sounds like a heck of a deal.
That is what he said. So he's donating $1,000.
Kern, we've got a table over here.
Yeah, it's not a massage. Thank you very much. It's a pain assessment.
Volunteers, please raise your hand.
Fantastic.
Please raise your hand.
I never
if you're
really
standing next to somebody with a $1,000
Tara, thank you very much. Wow, that was fantastic.
I've just been
For
told.
sorry alone is $1,000.
I've just been told that we received an anonymous $5,000 donation in addition to the ones we received. Please give a round of applause.
We are shipping this away. We are not leaving this.
That's amazing.
Hotel people, close those doors. Lock those doors before before the evening.
Volunteers, please.
$1,000.
Keep looking out for the hands raised.
Now I'm going to the
If
table.
you haven't gotten somebody, Kern, we've got somebody at table number 5. Fantastic. 5.
Love it.
Thank you very much. Volunteers, if you can come to table number 5.
Shafali.
Shafali at the hotel. And then
Fantastic.
Thank you. Who else do we have for $1,000 donation? I don't know if we have 30 quite yet.
We have also an additional 1,000 anonymous. We want to have
Another
that.
$1,000 anonymous
This is
donation.
fantastic. They're just coming. People are giving up their Christmas presents. They're eating presents.
Guys, $1,000 donation. If we just get maybe 23 or 24 more, I think we can get there tonight.
Hi, Table 8. How's it going?
Anybody else would like to donate at the $1,000 level, please raise your hand if a volunteer has to come over.
How's the law firm these days? Good? Yeah? How's the home cooking? Okay, Dr. Tatuwala from 1,000.
So before leaving, they decided, let's donate to this cause.
Fantastic.
Dr. Jaya Chandra.
Okay, for 1,000.
Amazing. Give a round of applause for all the $1,000 donations. If there's anybody that's not a volunteer that's come to your table, if you're at the $1,000 level, please make yourself known. But I can tell you the stories that you heard on the video tonight. You know, those are real people, and every time that they come through the shelter or use any of Apna Ghar's services, it empowers them to move on. All the things that Dr. Yunus was saying, it struck me as how parallel the things that he was saying to what kind of services Apna Ghar provides. The whole point of it is to provide a safe place and give roots. So what happens to people when they don't have a safe place to be? They don't have roots, they can't grow, they can't be their fullest person. So Apna Ghar is that safe place where they can grow roots and flourish. So at a $500 level, guys, who else is out there with a $500 level?
Anybody? I think we've maximized it, but let's add up how much we've you know, I think it was 26 is what I think.
So we had $4,000 or $5,000 donation. Where to tell? My pen's at the table.
Within a matter of weeks. So thank
Yeah,
you very
I wouldn't
much.
be surprised if we don't have some donations out milling about in the hallway right now.
Absolutely.
With that, I would like to welcome Furry Cock and his band Math Games. They're going to play us out this evening. We really appreciate all of your support. We know that it's hard on a Thursday night to come out, but please do give a last round of applause for all the people that participated tonight. Mr. Ravi Bajwal, Dr. Muhammad Yunus, Alderman James Kappelman, Fareed Haq and his band Math Games. We really appreciate it. Please, if we haven't volunteers that come to you for your donation, they will, believe me. But thank you very much, and we'll get to Fareed Haq. Please enjoy the rest of your evening.